intro it?
You can start.
Okay. Welcome to Gold Can't Stay, a podcast about two long-distance sisters.
Telling long-distance stories.
Why can't I remember what comes after that?
I think you just say, I'm KASEY.
Oh, I'm KASEY.
And I'm ALLYSON.
And today we're talking about things that are dead. Well, not literally, but things that are just not a thing anymore.
Defunct, or
gone.
Retired, or discontinued.
Gone but not forgotten.
Definitely not forgotten, because we're going to be talking about them today.
Mm-hmm. We sure are.
We sure are.
So, what? Okay, we're going to be talking about things, but we're trying to avoid this becoming like a 90s kids remember sort of episode.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to focus on things that used to be a thing, maybe recently, maybe 10 years ago, maybe 20 years ago, and just trying to just focus on things that just didn't last for whatever reason.
Who knows?
For whatever reason.
You know?
Things that are dear to our hearts or just things that we remember. But before we get into those things...
The meat of the Hot Pocket.
We gotta talk Hot Pocket. When was the last time you had a Hot Pocket?
It's been a hot minute, I'll tell you that.
Well, you know what? What's your favorite flavor of Hot Pocket? Because I also haven't had one in years.
I don't think that I ate any flavors outside of pizza. Kind of trying to fuck with no ham and cheese.
Yeah, I was about to say, I love me a pizza roll. You know, classic pepperoni cheese. But when it came to Hot Pockets, I felt like I always wanted the Philly cheesesteak for some reason.
Whoa, okay.
I don't know.
Have you ever had a real Philly cheesesteak before?
Yeah, you know, the place in Tennessee.
Oh, Firehouse.
No. The one that I like to go to was behind McAllister's.
Yeah.
It was called something Station.
Yeah, I've eaten there before with you.
What was it called? Well, where's
I
the
don't remember.
Philly cheesesteaks are from Philadelphia, but it wasn't called Philadelphia Station. It was something Station.
Yeah.
Whoops! I like that place, so that was a good place. They had good fries.
Yeah, I hope they're still doing it. I hope they're still out there doing it.
Yeah. Probably not right now, but that's fine.
Actually.
So do you have a goof for this episode?
I do have a goof, but it's again, not a self-goof. This is a goof from someone else.
Okay.
This is an outside goof. So,
let's hear it.
You know, I have a dog, Bones, who takes preventative medications like flea and tick.
Oh, okay.
And heartworm stuff. And recently I had to refill them with my vet. My vet is in Nashville. And also I took him to Nashville to drop him off with my boyfriend because he was interfering with, audio stuff. So I was coming back from that trip, from going to the vet, getting his stuff, dropping Bones off. And I'm driving down the highway, going like 70 miles an hour. You know, it's a highway, going very fast.
Hey, real quick question. How's the traffic these days?
It was, when I went, let me gather my thoughts. So obviously for the first 2 weeks I was there, I wasn't going anywhere. But when I went to Nashville to pick up Bones, after my 2 weeks of self-isolation was up, I ended up coming back around rush hour, and there was like no one on the roads. I actually put in Google Maps directions to go somewhere, and like they were like, oh yeah, just go straight through downtown, and it was like totally empty. But now around rush hour it is starting to pick up again, but not in the like slow, it takes me an hour to get from Nashville to Murfreesboro kind of way, more in the like, oh, there's just like a lot of people on the road. Because I mean, the Tennessee's like quote unquote reopened.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think a lot of people are still probably working from home, and of course a lot of restaurants and stuff are still closed, but more people are out. But it's not like back to quote unquote normal.
Right. Okay. So continue the story.
Anyway, so I'm driving, going very fast because I'm going the speed limit. And I see a white car a bit ahead of me like pull over on the side of the road, and I was like, oh, I don't know, for some reason, there's not much going on. You just like look at stuff. So I'm like looking at this white car pull over. Someone comes out of the passenger side and just like runs over to the side of the road and puts his hands on the guardrail and just projectile vomits everywhere.
Oh God, no.
Yeah, it was rough.
Oh God.
And I was like, in past times, I've always had a very intense vomit phobia. Like when I was a kid, it would wreck my week sometimes. But now it's like, oh, this is really gross and makes me feel a little queasy. But like, I still ate dinner. But in the past, I probably wouldn't eat for like 2 to 3 days after I saw someone else vomit. But anyways, it was just like really, I was like, I've been thinking about it ever since. Like, the timing is so incredible to be like going down the highway going 70 miles an hour and being able to witness this person like pull over and like get out of the car and vom everywhere. And I was also impressed. I'm just hoping and assuming that he didn't get any vom in the car, because that was like, that was a lot. I think that was the first vom. There was a lot going on. He spilled his spaghetti all over the side of that highway.
I can't imagine. I don't think I've ever like projectile vomited, thankfully. I mean, like, I've had some like, strong vomits into the toilet, but I was actually just talking to Dave about vomiting like yesterday, the day before. I was like, I don't think I've ever vomited not like in a toilet or like a container of some sort. Like, I've never been in public where I'm like, oh, I have to barf like right now. Yeah. And like, thankfully, I don't think.
That's pretty blessed.
Yeah, well, it's like, I try not to get drunk in public, so.
Did you never throw up at school?
No.
Oh, me neither.
See,
that's the true blessing.
Yeah, that's the thing that started it. I saw a tweet that was like, what was with, like, kids always barfing in like, class? And I was like, yeah, because, like, I can feel a barf coming, and, like, if I'm sick, I don't want to go to school. And there was, like, a lot of tweets that were like, I didn't want to miss a field trip. It's like, if I'm barfing, like, screw a field trip. Are you kidding me?
Wait,
so I don't know.
You've thrown up in the hallway before.
Have I?
As a kid, yeah. Because I remember, because it was right in front of my bedroom door, and I was like, fuck. I was like, I'm stuck in here.
At home doesn't count. So
you're saying, like, home doesn't count? At home, you can puke anywhere, and it's fine?
Yeah, which was our shitting your pants. We decided that, like, as long as, like, you're, like, not in public, it doesn't count.
Okay. All right, I don't know. So if you vom,
that could be, like,
if you shit yourself.
What?
And you're at home. If you do either of those things at home, it's like safe zone.
It's like safe zone, because like you're on the way to the toilet and you're at home, so it's
and
like
if you're on the way.
Yeah. So like if you're on the way to the toilet at a restaurant and you barf, that's different. But like if you're on the way to the toilet at home, I think it's fair game.
I'm trying to think. I threw up at work once, but I threw up.
What a conversation.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so that was, my goof is, again, not really my goof, but it was just kind of like almost a miracle goof that I witnessed on the side of I-24.
Not into it.
So, yeah.
I'm not, like, as phobic as you used to be about barfing, but I'm, like, becoming, I feel like. Because, like, when I see or hear people barf, it's just, like, something about it just, like, really grosses me out. I don't know why. And it didn't used to as much.
Yeah, it seems like in that way... Like, that, for me, blood and gore, the older I get, the more sensitive I am to it. Like, maybe it's just because I'm more aware of, like, my mortality and, like, the ramifications of, like, that kind of stuff. But I'm better about vomit, worse about blood.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the opposite for me, because I do love blood and gore, but it does make me a little queasy if I see, like, a lot of it. Mm-hmm. So, like, when I get my blood drawn, I cannot look at it. I mean, I'm fine getting my blood drawn, but if I, like, look at the vials, it's, like, game over. Yeah. Like, just don't look at it and I'm fine.
Or the needle in your arm.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Yeah. Wow. Projectile vomiting.
Mm-hmm.
Fun! So I also don't really have a goof either, because, I mean, I don't leave the house.
Yeah.
Nothing's happening. I don't know, honestly. It's been pretty chill over here. I will say.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, this is kind of boring, but I did plant this. I planted a like a metaphorical seed.
Okay.
That is now overgrowing in my head. I started looking at houses.
Oh my!
And now that
on Vancouver Island.
What?
On Vancouver Island.
Yeah. Cause I was just thinking, like, you know, you pay rent,
Mm-hmm.
and the money just, like, you know,
Yeah, it just goes
you're just
away.
paying rent. But if you, like, buy a house, at least you're, like, owning
It's
the
like an
thing.
investment. Yeah.
So, like, the more I think about it, it's just, like, at first I was like, hey, Dave, I was looking at houses just because. And then I was like, it could happen in, like, a couple years, 3 years.
Yeah.
And now I'm just like, oh, my God, I want to get out of here. Like, I want to buy a house now. And, like, because, like, whenever we go into an apartment, every time I go into an apartment, I'm so hesitant to, like, decorate it and, like, make it my home. Because I'm just like, well, I'll be here for, like, a year or two. And I don't want to spend hours and, like, lots of money on decorating when I'm only going to be there, like, temporarily.
Yeah, totally.
And I'm just, like, so over that. And, you know.
And you can have a yard.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I've been thinking a lot about, like, I want to decorate my, like, balcony on my apartment.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also just kind of like, do I want to put the effort in? Because, like, we're not going to be here forever. And I don't know. It'd be nice to have a permanent place.
I mean, the markets might be a buyer's market pretty soon with all this shit going down. So
I was thinking about that. Like, I've been saving money, so it's like, and like, thankfully, I work from home, so it's not a big deal. So I'm hoping that, like, maybe prices will go down a little bit because no one can afford it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'm looking a little bit. We'll see.
Wow.
We'll see.
Adulting over here.
It's scary.
Exciting.
So,
Fear is just excitement without breathing.
And if we want to talk about, like, adult stuff for, like, a second, it's like...
Sure.
I remember when I went back to Tennessee, our oldest sister was complaining about her payments on her house and, like, or whatever she's, like, paying off. And she was like, oh, it's, like, this amount of money. It's so expensive. And I was like, let me tell you how much apartment costs, like, close to downtown on Vancouver Island. And I was, like, paying more for my apartment than she was for a house. And then I remember, like, you were complaining about housing prices in Nashville, and I was like, wow, I wish it was that much on Vancouver Island. It costs, like, 3 times that much for a house. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So it's just, like, crazy that, like, I could go home to Tennessee and, like, buy a house, but, like, in Vancouver, it's, like... Or, like, Vancouver Island, it's like, it's gonna be a while to pay that house off. It sucks, but I think about, like, you know, if we're not gonna have a family, I'm not concerned about being near, like, a house, or not a house, like, a school, and, like, having, like, a yard and being in a neighborhood. Like, I actually really like to be downtown, close to downtown at least, because, like, I do stuff in the city, like, I have shops and stuff, and, like, friends. So it's like, I'm not really concerned about having a house, like, far away. I'd rather be nearish the city. So we'll see.
Get that Japanese house they've been working on.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that thing. I should go check on it.
I haven't
even driven past it in, like, over a year or 2.
It's probably still getting worked on.
I'll have to go check on it. For those of you who don't know, there was, like, this very Japanese style house, like, in a... just randomly on a street. I'm talking, like, fencing and, like, just think, like, classic, like, 100-year-old Japanese house. Like, it was just the weirdest, most random thing ever. And they started, like, destroying it. So I don't know if they were going to make it look better or if they're just, like, getting rid of it to put a regular house there. But I was like, dang, it'd be so cool to live in this, like, Japanese-style house.
In your own English-speaking country.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's my goof. I've planted a very dangerous seed.
Oof. I mean, that's just an oof. That's more of like a ooh, you know? Oh.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, now is not a good time to be looking at houses because I'm not trying to, like, go out and, like, socialize and go to open houses and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But at least I can, like, start looking online at, like, what's out there and, like, what to expect.
You can
a lot of the houses around here are very old, which is cute. Like 100 years old. So we'll see.
Wow. She's growing up.
I'm just kind of sick of, like, renting and being in an apartment. You know.
No, I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that. I was talking to Justin. I was like, I've been thinking about a 5-year plan because I've never really planned ahead. And I was like, I don't know, I'm thinking about getting a tiny house.
Aw, that'd be cute.
because I don't need a lot of space. And yeah, and like, I don't know. So I've been thinking about that a little bit, but that's like at the end of a 5-year plan. I don't even have a job right now. Talk about a goof.
That's a world goof.
Yeah, that is a global goof.
Worldwide goof. Well, shall we get into the meat of this Hot Pocket?
The Hot Pocket.
For some reason, we're calling it a Hot Pocket.
Let's dive in, but let's let it cool for 1 minute before you dive in.
Oh yeah, I don't want to burn your mouth.
Burn your mouth.
So should we jump into like our favorite Gone But Not Forgotten, or should we kind of ease into it?
I know, I'm like, should we save that for the end? But I'm gonna want to talk about it a lot. What do you think?
I could talk about it for a while. I could talk about it for a while.
Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should do it at the end. Maybe we should do a few short ones in the front and then.
Okay.
Maybe.
You know, you guys don't even know what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna tease you into it.
What is our big, most awesome thing that we miss?
Oh, anyway. Tune in to find out.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll save that one for later.
Yeah.
Let's start off with like stuff is like our childhood.
Okay.
Stuff we miss from our childhood. This is a very simple one, but it's just like something that I think about from time to time. I guess I'm going to start off.
Yeah,
Sorry.
You're doing it. Casey's taking the wheel.
I don't know why, but the DZ, Discovery Zone, is something that I think about, and I don't know why, because it's basically, like a Chuck E. Cheese, isn't it?
Yeah, it was like a Chuck E. Cheese minus the characters, with more focus on, like, the play area.
Yeah, there was more, like, physical play, like, what is it, like
a jungle gym, but inside.
Yeah, like a jungle gym, but inside, and there was, like, a lot of stuff to, like, run through and do.
Stuff.
Like, physical stuff. Didn't they also have, like, a
an
laser...
obstacle course?
Yeah, like obstacle course sort of things. Yeah. I'm not sure if they had, like, games or tokens or anything. I don't remember much about it. I just remember it being pretty cool. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Like one of those roller slides that could really fuck you up if you went down the wrong way.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, see, I forgot about that. It was, like, a slide that, like, went, like, at a 45-degree angle, but it was, like, just a bunch of rollers. Mm-hmm. Like, it wasn't, like, a piece, which they have in Japan.
Yeah, those things still exist. Yeah.
Yeah, but the ones in Japan are usually, like, very long and, like, crazy. Like, I remember going on one, and it was just, like, it, like, wound.
Whoa.
Down a hill.
Okay.
There's a lot of, I guess, like, it's one of those, like, hidden gem sort of things. But, yeah, I remember that. Okay. Anything else you remember about that
Just,
place?
like, a lot of tunnels and a lot of foam. A lot of, like, giant foam blocks.
Hanging
and shapes
things.
And stuff. Yeah, and, like hanging, almost like punching bags.
Yeah,
and then,
I remember that.
Of course, there's a ball pit. But there was also, like, overlapping elastic pieces that, like, crisscrossed that you could crawl over and also fall through into, like, a mat, you know? It was a crazy jungle gym full of all the fun stuff.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
Can you imagine going to something like that in this climate? Oof.
I can't even imagine going to, like, normal stores or restaurants in this climate.
Yeah.
So was that, like, a local thing, or was that, like, a chain? Because I don't know.
I didn't do it. I'm going to Google it right now. I didn't do any research. Okay. I'm pretty sure there's more than one. Let's see. Just Googling the Discovery Zone. It was a chain of entertainment facilities featuring games and elaborate indoor mazes designed for young children, including roller slides, climbing play structures, and ball pits. It also featured arcade games. Yeah, so it was a chain. Yeah,
I just remember it being, like, a lot more fun than, like, because I've never been, like, a Chuck E. Cheese person. Oh.
Time out. Sorry. Just breaking news. 2020 revival. I'm on the Wikipedia page, so I haven't fact-checked this, but I'm assuming someone else has done the fact-checking. On February 7th, 2020, a similar business using the name reopened at Eastgate Mall in Cincinnati, Ohio. The new logo resembles the logo of the Nickelodeon game show Double Dare, and it is like Discovery Zone with big slime green background. Okay. Other noticeable differences between this Discovery Zone location and the original chain is the absence of the ball pit, the roller slide, and the robot mascot Z-Bop. Well, okay.
Z-Bop!
I didn't know there was a mascot, but, like, how are you going to take away the ball pit and the roller slide and then call it Discovery Zone?
Well,
but listen. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Discovery Zone shut down after 6 p.m. on March 16th. So I don't know if it's coming back, but they tried.
Yeah,
they tried for a comeback.
Bad timing for a lot of things this year, clearly.
Yeah.
I mean, ball pits are, like, fine, but aren't they just, like, a mess if, like, someone poops?
Or voms?
Or barfs,
yeah.
Or spills something in there. It's probably just, like,
or even
more
just,
trouble
like, slobber. And I'm trying to think of, like...
We're just keeping it clean.
Yeah, what's the appeal of a ball pit? I mean, I guess it's fun to throw shit at your friends, but...
I think it's, like, a very young child thing.
Maybe.
I do see, like, a lot of baby toys where you can, like, get, like, a tiny ball pit for, like, your toddler, but I think, like, the older kids... I mean, it's fun, I'm sure, but probably more pain and hassle than it's worth, I would assume.
It's like, ooh, colors. But then what? That's it.
Wow. Well... So that's the Discovery Zone. Honestly, not much to say about it. Like I was saying, I've never really been like a Chuck E. Cheese person.
Yeah,
for some
neither.
reason. I've never really been into arcades. Honestly. Opinions, thoughts?
I mean, it's not like my first choice for a birthday location, but I definitely go to someone else's birthday at an arcade. I guess I just like... yeah, I don't know. It's just not really just I'm thinking about it. It's not really doing it for me.
Yeah, actually last year there was like a classic arcade that opened downtown here in Victoria. And one of my friends had a birthday party, or like, you know, he wanted to get together and like go to the arcade and like have dinner. And I was just like not having the arcade. I was like, this is so boring. Like, I can probably download most of these games at home and play them, which like I know the appeal of like playing on the physical thing, because when it comes to classic games like on the NES and stuff, like I would rather play on the system. But I'm just like not into arcade games. Like if you are, that's fine, but I was just like not into it. I was like, this is so boring. Like you had to like pay like a lot of money. Like it's just like it seems like you're throwing
you had
your money
to pay
away.
To play?
Like you gotta get tokens, and then like you don't get tickets, so it's like you don't even get like a piece of candy in
Wait,
return. You're
so
just
was it,
playing the game.
Was it like arcade game like skee ball and stuff like that, or was it like arcades like Street Fighter and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Because we have one of those in Nashville, like I think it's called like maybe 8-bit or 16-bit arcade, but the thing is like they're all free to play, and,
like
and you buy
pay
alcohol.
A price and you like go in.
No, it's free to go in.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Yeah, so I don't know what they're doing there, but it's pretty great. Yeah, you go in, it's free. I mean, people like it's in downtown Nashville, so people are like going there to drink too. So they're making a ton of money off of alcohol, I'm sure.
Okay.
But yeah, they have alcohol. I don't know if they had food or not. The only thing that you did have to pay for was, for some weird reason, oh shit, what's it called? Oh, pinball machines. They had like a hallway full of pinball machines that you had to pay for.
Huh.
But all the arcade games were free, and then they did have like a few TVs with like all the NES games and SNES games and like Sega games. And then they had like bowling, but it wasn't like regular bowling. It was like
tiny?
Yeah, I guess I don't know what that's called.
Because Canada loves their tiny bowling for some reason.
Yeah, they had tiny bowling.
It's gross. I don't like it. It's so useless.
So. Is the ball smaller too? I mean, I guess it'd have to be if the.
It's weird. I don't know.
That's some
interesting
Rip Van Winkle shit.
I've been to a couple of like arcade places, and one in Nashville and one in Murfreesboro, and I think both of them were like you pay like a certain price just to get in, and then everything was free.
That makes sense.
Which. Yeah, and there was, like, a lot of, like, variety and, like, fun stuff in there, but this one just wasn't doing it for me. There was, like, a lot of pinball machines, and I was just like, no.
Yeah,
like,
I never
no,
really understood the appeal of pinball. There's a pinball arcade in East Nashville, and I don't know, never really appealed to me.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. That's kind of, like, one of those things where it's, like, gone but not forgotten, but then it comes back as like a throwback trendy sort of thing.
Yeah, I guess now that all those kids are adults and can take their kids to places like that, they're like, wait, I'm gonna open this thing so my kids can experience what I experienced.
Yeah, so that's the Discovery Zone.
Very cool.
What you got on your list?
My list is like mostly food related. So one
Okay.
thing that I really miss. Now, I'll preface this by saying I don't eat a lot of candy anymore. As an adult, I just like my sweet tooth is more geared towards things like dark chocolate, the occasional like dark chocolate bar or something. But I remember in the 90s, there was this huge like availability of weird tropical candy flavors.
Like with the Skittles?
Yeah, like I know they still make tropical Skittles, but
Right.
also like ring pops and push pops and stuff like that had like buck wild fruit flavors. I remember this like vividly because grandma, I guess like our dad's parents would go to like Sam's or Costco or whatever and like bring back a bunch of candy and just keep it at their house. And so I always
Right.
remember just like looking at all this candy and it was like pineapple, tropical punch, papaya tango, weird stuff like that. And I feel
Okay.
like nowadays, unless it's like a pack of tropical Skittles or a pack of like tropical Starburst, you can't just like buy a ring pop or a push pop or just like buck wild flavored candy like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I also don't really look at those candies because I'm not really into fruity stuff either.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I feel like a lot of companies were, like it had these companies created, I guess, like their base like 50 years ago. I wonder what it was about the 90s that they were like, let's try new flavors and like different stuff.
So I've heard a little bit about this, and I don't have any sources to back it up because it's not something I cared enough about to like look further into, but time periods and kind of like the economic status in those time periods really influences the flavors that are popular during those eras. And the 90s was a really prosperous time for America, so I think companies probably just had like more money, or there's just like kind of this air of like celebration and like, we can have whatever we want kind of thing, and that influenced, flavors in that way. So everything was very exotic, tropical, like, it's a celebration type thing. Because like in 2008, there were a lot of more like sour flavors. Like that's when Greek yogurt became really big and flavors like that. So it was just like, and that's when there was an economic downturn. Anyway, I'm sure there's like an NPR article on it or something, but that's my theory about why the 90s was like so crazy with flavor. Because, and this is on my list too, I'll just go ahead and say it, Snapple was the same way. I feel like there was like, and maybe not just Snapple, but other drink brands, there were just so many different flavors of drinks that you could get. And I remember standing in front of the Snapple case in Kroger as a kid being like, holy shit, what flavor am I gonna get? And now it's like they have tea and apple and strawberry kiwi, and that's it.
I've never been into Snapple. I don't know why. I never got into it. But now that I'm an adult, I noticed there are some alcoholic Snapple beverages.
Wait, Snapple branded alcohol?
Yeah. They've like partnered with, I don't know, someone, or they just do it on their own. There's like a watermelon one, which is pretty good, and like a lemonade one. Okay. They're pretty good.
Interesting.
Yeah. Would recommend if they're available in your area. Surely they are if they're here on the island.
I've never heard of it, but I'll check it out. It could also just be like a Canadian thing.
Could be.
Because y'all have a lot more. I feel like y'all have a lot more pre-made mixed kind of like canned drinks, but that's becoming more of a thing here now too. Because
I think we're in a good area for it. Also, because the Okanagan, if you know anything about that. It's just like north on the mainland. There's like a lot of like apple orchards. It's like really good weather for growing and stuff like that.
Wait, was I aware of this apple orchard situation?
Yeah, I told when you came before we went to Japan. I told you about it
because I've been
like I showed
my apple kick. Okay, well, whenever COVID stops happening and it's safe to travel again. Whenever
honestly,
apple season is happening.
I would love to go back because I went over there near that area for a convention last year, and there was like a winery, but they had like a make your own charcuterie restaurant, and it was like, yeah, it was wild. So I'm sure there's like
gonna put it on my list. I gotta come eat all the apples and check it out.
Yeah, I bet there's some dope stuff up there.
Gotta be.
Okanagan,
pizzazz, which I never got to eat. Talk about, maybe that's my gone but not forgotten. Never got a chance to eat a pizzazz apple. But
I
one
mean,
day.
they'll be here for you.
One day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what else is on your list, Casey?
Well, hold on. Speaking of flavors,
Oh.
I don't know if you saw this on my Instagram. When I went to the grocery store a couple weeks ago, I saw Sour Patch Chips Ahoy chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. Oh, yeah. We'll talk about Buckwild. What's that about?
It's one of those things where, like, I wish I bought it because, like, I want to try it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I just can't imagine it being good.
Yeah, it sounds disgusting.
Sour Patch chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah, so
why?
there's chocolate and Sour Patch Kids in these cookies.
I think so.
Okay, well.
Hopefully, I'll go to the grocery store before we record the next episode, and I can bring a cookie in and try it live,
Ooh,
I'll keep an eye out.
Support. Yeah.
I go to the grocery store once a week, so hopefully next week I'll go and see them, so.
Speaking of cookies, Oreo does some Buckwild stuff.
They do.
They had Swedish Fish Oreos.
Oh. I don't keep up with Oreos, though. I don't like Oreos.
I don't eat them, but when I'm in the grocery store, I do look at them.
Yeah. It's fun to keep up.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I went to, like, a party, like, months ago, obviously, and I wanted to bring something sweet, so Oreos had this, like, mystery flavor package, so I grabbed it, because I thought it'd be fun. I was like, this is either going to be disgusting or delightful. So, like, we sat around and we tried to guess the flavor. We did not guess it. I think it ended up being cinnamon bun, but specifically cinnamon bun flavored Teddy Grahams.
That's
so, like,
a lot of layers.
Yeah, so it's like, what if you were like, oh yeah, it tastes like cinnamon bun, but it's like wrong, Teddy Grahams. It's like, what? Come on. Like, I don't know. But
yeah,
they were pretty good, though. They were pretty good.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. Oreos, I've had a couple of their, like, weird, quote-unquote weird flavors, and they're not bad. They're fun. It's fun.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like Oreos because they're too sweet. They're too much. And I also prefer, because I don't really like chocolate-flavored things, I prefer the vanilla Oreos with the...
Yeah, the golden
ones. Like the blonde ones. Yeah, the vanilla ones, yeah. But, Same. If they're at a party, I'm not going to say no to an Oreo.
No, absolutely not.
All right. So,
okay.
Next up. I don't think you have this on your list, but if you had a 3DS, do you remember Street Pass? Anybody?
Oh, yeah. I don't think it's about that anymore. Still.
Yeah, so Street Pass was really interesting, and I feel like such a unique concept.
Yeah.
Because it's not like going on the internet and, like, connecting with people, it's like, that's easy, been there, done that. But when you have to, like, go out in public with this thing and have it on, and you're, like, connecting with people, that's really cool. It was kind of boring, like, there wasn't much to it, but I think it was, like, a really interesting concept.
I mean, memes, Lonk from Pennsylvania, that's a Street Pass, that's a Street Pass meme.
That's true. We also have, like, a lot of personal jokes, like Buddha P.
That's my secret Instagram handle, and that's my name on Instagram, Buddha P.
So, when I studied abroad in Japan, for those of you who don't know, the 3DS was still, like, a big thing. So on the way from school and, like, to school, I would have my 3DS on, and it was, like, really cool to, like, see the same people that I tagged every day, like a high school kid on the same train as me on the same time. That was always really interesting. But there was one time when I street passed someone, and, like, you could have, like a phrase that you said to people, and in Japanese, this person said, "New father Brad Pitt." And I just, to this day, I don't know why it said that. And in Japan, they like to, like, shorten names and just, like, phrases and stuff. So Brad Pitt is Buddha P, so it's the first part of his name. So we've just made this whole joke about Buddha P.
Yeah.
Because of Street Pass.
New Faza Buddha P.
I think it was actually, like, the actual Japanese word, like atarashi.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I think so. Either way.
That makes it even funnier.
Why? Yeah, so
Atarashi.
Street Pass was really interesting. Like, I remember going to conventions and, like, checking it like, every 5 minutes, and it would be full because, like, all the nerds had their 3DSs. Yeah.
And then when you pass so many people, you could do this weird role-playing game with your Street Passes, and they'd give you puzzle pieces and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there were a lot of tie-ins to that. I really enjoy it. I was actually thinking about that recently when we were back in Japan. I was like, man, I wish the Switch had a Street Pass thing.
Yeah,
like,
that'd be really cool.
Why doesn't it? I actually found out, you know, it's weird as an adult, and even when I was in high school, really, I didn't really talk about video games that much with my friends because I just assumed that people weren't into it. But through my 3DS Street Pass, I actually, like, found people that I knew who had video games.
That's
and stuff.
hilarious.
So that was kind of neat, like, coworkers, and I was like, oh shit, you got a 3DS? Okay. Huh. And, like, when I went back to school, there were people. So it's really interesting, the people that you can find. I don't know.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, that's good.
That was like a cool little thing. That was like a thing, and I'm happy that it wasn't like a 90s kids thing.
Yeah, that's really recent. That's really recent.
Yeah, I don't know when they stopped doing Street Pass, like stopped supporting it, but I think they have stopped supporting it. Man,
that's a bummer.
But, like, when was the last time you touched your 3DS?
It's been a while, because it's been in storage. But I want to say that I've played my 3DS pretty recently. And by recently, I mean, like, before I, like, went to Japan. Rest in peace, Street Pass. I love everything about the Mii. For some reason, the Mii is such a memeable, lovable, weird little
Well, hold on. Let's not transition quite yet.
Well, honestly, my list is done because I've been racking my brain and I can't really think of a whole lot of stuff that I really miss. I mean...
I have one more.
Okay. What is it?
I have Hollywood Video / Blockbuster.
Oh.
Like, rental places.
Yeah, video rental places.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a childhood thing, but also just like it's a modern day has killed it sort of thing. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of memories of going to Blockbuster, renting games several times.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we went there. We went to, I guess after Hollywood Video opened, we kind of like transitioned to Hollywood Video. I don't remember going to Blockbuster too much.
Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right.
But I remember going to Hollywood Video like every weekend and like going to the foreign film section and seeing what kind of anime they had, and also just like foreign films.
I think that's the whole reason why I got into like Asian horror sort of stuff. There's a lot of like horror films from like Korea and Japan that I was super into. And I mean, like, you know, the internet was still kind of young back then. Like, it was hard to find, you know, these sort of things. And, you know, if you're into it, illegally download it. But even just, like, knowing about these things, like, where do you go to find out, you know, about the internet?
It was nice having people to, like, tell you about stuff. But, it's just, like, it's another one of those things where you could be a regular at a video place. And it's just, like, nice to have those experiences and those, like, exchanges, and I don't know. And, like, and what was connected to Hollywood Video? What was it?
The video game?
Yeah, what was it called?
Part? Game Crazy. Game Crazy.
Being regulars at Game Crazy. I remember
they, like, offered me a job.
You got offered a job?
Yeah, and that was right before I went off to college. So I was like, man, I'm, like, about to move for college. So, like... yeah.
Lucky. I only got offered a date. I wasn't about that. Not the Game Crazy guys.
I remember going there all the time, just like looking at old video game stuff. And like video game tournaments and stuff, which I know places still do, but it was fun. It was fun. I miss that. I miss that sort of thing, you know?
Yeah, I miss that too. Wasn't there, like... So I know there was, like, Redbox. Wasn't there, like, a game version of that was, like, kind of a thing for a while? Or maybe it's online only. Was it, like, GameFly?
I think it was like an internet thing that you ordered and then sent it back. I can't imagine why it wouldn't be, because I remember people would rent like Xbox games just to get the points, like the gamer points or whatever.
I've done
and
that.
They could, because there was like a very specific game that had like a very easy, huge amount, and people would like rent it.
It was either Naruto. I think it was the Naruto game. It was
or
like literally like what?
Was it like a Spider-Man? I think Naruto is right. Yeah, Naruto.
Because it was like literally you turn it on, you play it, and it's like 2,500 gamer points, and you're like, cool. Well, I'm going to return this game because I don't actually want to play it. I just want the points.
That's funny. Yeah, I didn't do that, but I remember hearing about it.
You didn't. I rented the game, and you didn't do it as well.
I think this was when I was at college and you were at home.
Oh, right, because I got my Xbox after you. That makes sense. Well,
yeah. So
I was that gamer.
Just a short little something. I remember I was actually in California last year for VidCon, and a friend took me to like a pop-up Blockbuster store where you could like, they had it set up where it looked like a Blockbuster, and you could like buy Blockbuster merch and stuff. It was pretty funny. I'm feeling a lot of things. It's funny, it's cute, it's quirky. I'm also kind of sad, but mostly it's funny and cool.
That's funny. Okay, I love it.
Okay, well, I'm glad you could come to that conclusion.
Just had to process for a minute.
It was silly. It was silly, but we definitely just like went in for like a minute and was like, okay, bye.
You didn't buy a Blockbuster t-shirt?
I'm not really into that graphic. Also, like I was only there for like another day, so I didn't want to like rent anything.
Oh, they were actually renting stuff?
To be honest, I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like yes.
I mean, that's feasible because I think Blockbuster does have those boxes. So
I don't have a DVD player or a VHS player.
Well, you've got a PlayStation.
My computer doesn't even have a CD drive.
Mine doesn't either. I had to buy an extra.
I mean, I have
CD
like
drive.
our old Xbox, but like I don't have a player of any sort.
Yeah. Same.
Whoops.
Well, that's just another sign of the times. Hey, you know what I really miss? I miss putting a VHS in the VCR and rewinding. And I miss,
oh my God.
I miss tracking. I miss turning those little knobs to make sure the picture was just right.
You know when you rented a VHS and the previous person didn't rewind it?
Have you ever rented a DVD and found out your DVD wasn't able to play it because of some weird shit? That happened to us a couple of times. Oof. It was like a Disney DVD, and it was like, oh, you can't play this on this DVD player. And it was like, And I'm not talking about Blu-ray. I'm talking about, I think it was like we had rented Atlantis or something, and it wouldn't play.
Remember DVD menus?
Remember Easter eggs on DVD menus?
Oh, God.
Do people still do that? Do you remember DVDs coming with games?
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
Just cool games you'd play with your zapper, aka a remote.
Oh.
I think I'm the only person on the planet
Your southern
Earth.
Showing.
What?
So your southern showing.
I don't think anyone calls it a zapper.
Oh.
But if you call it a zapper, get at us on Instagram.
I don't anymore. I call it a remote.
I make a conscious effort to call it a remote in front of other people because it's just like, I'm an adult. I can call it what it is. I don't have to call it a zapper.
I also just like don't really think about zapper anymore. I mean, it really doesn't make any sense. Like, what are you doing?
You're zapping it.
What you zapping?
Zip, zip. I'm zapping a message across the room to the TV. Zip, zip.
Oof, yeah, I don't know.
I'm about to zap my brain cells by watching 12 hours of
behind the scene footage.
What?
Well, shall we get into our favorite throwback, gone but not forgotten thing?
Hold on, let me get my handkerchief because I'm going to cry.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
You got it?
I mean, I might cry, but I don't need a handkerchief. I'm not going to cry.
If you cry, I'll be very surprised.
You'd be surprised?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, why would you cry over Mitomo?
Oh! There it is! Miitomo. Oh my god.
For those who aren't aware,
Oh my god.
Miitomo is kind of like Miitomo is to Tomodachi Life as Pocket Camp is to Animal Crossing. It was like a mobile only game based off of your Nintendo Mii.
Yeah, but it was a little more like Nintendo's social media.
Oh yeah,
also.
no, for sure, yeah.
Which, oh gosh, once I brought this idea up to you, I started like talking to Dave about it. I felt so passionate about it.
It was so good, and it was just like, it was such a ripe, like, arena for memes and jokes and
we have
shenanigans.
So many inside jokes.
So many.
So
to this
many.
day. And I was reading about it on Wikipedia, and apparently it was a very successful app, but for some reason Nintendo just decided to discontinue it after 10 years.
What? After 10 years?
I'm so sorry.
2 years.
I said 10. I meant 2. Yeah, it started
in
March 2016 through May 2018. And can I tell you something? That app is still on my phone. I refuse to delete it.
I've had
Miitomo
too many
is
phones
there.
since then. Oh my god.
It's still there.
So if you don't know what Miitomo is, go ahead and, since you've got, like, the research, go ahead and, like, let the folks know what Miitomo is.
Yeah, I'm just going to read a little bit of stuff off of Wikipedia because my version of research is very lazy. I'm just going to read the first paragraph. Miitomo was a freemium social networking mobile app developed by Nintendo for iOS and Android devices. So yeah, it was basically Nintendo's social network. And it was freemium. It was like free to play or free to have, but there were also like mini games because the whole thing was like customizing your avatar, and then customizing the room that your avatar lived in. And there would be like seasonal events with costumes and things and, all kinds of stuff. And let's see what else Wikipedia has to say about it. The app, Nintendo's first, allowed users to converse with friends by answering various questions and featured Twitter and Facebook integration. The app was released in March 2016 for iOS and May 2016 for Android, launching alongside the My Nintendo service. Despite being a critical commercial success with over 10 million downloads worldwide a month after release, it was discontinued in May 2018. So yeah, it was basically...
Rip.
Yeah, just like an extreme social network with a cool avatar. Like,
and not only like social networking, but like they talked. Like,
oh my god, yeah.
It wasn't just like you're reading tweets. These characters actually like it would like a computer would read out the text, and it was just hysterical. Like it was the best. And like imagine like okay, you can go on Twitter and just like spew like your thoughts, but imagine if you're like on a social media where like everyone's answering questions and like you visit their little room and they like give you like their replies to things. I mean, it was like the funniest thing ever. It was great
because like the voices were like, it's almost like
you could choose
an Animal
your pitch
Crossing.
and your speed.
Yeah, you could choose the pitch. It was almost like an Animal Crossing character saying it, and also like the whatever algorithm they were using to like do text to speech wasn't perfect. So like it had problems with words like jalapeno. It said one of our inside jokes is jalapeno.
I literally cannot say. I mean, like I know it's jalapeno, but like whenever I see a jalapeno, I say jalapeno.
Yeah, same.
Also, I mean, I still say poutine, but like they would say Putin. I think for poutine. Like
what it was.
I love to eat Putin. Like it was just like there were so many.
Because we had to write out poutine, and that in itself became a joke.
Yeah,
for
POO dash like TEEN. Yeah,
TEEN.
Oh man, there's so many like.
Just like certain people that we knew coming in and ruining jokes.
Just like not being funny, like ruining our jokes.
Being a thread killer, basically. Combo breaker.
Yeah, because it was interesting. I guess like your character would answer a question and then like other people could like reply or like leave comments about it, and then like it would become this whole like back and forth thing between us, and it was just like it was hysterical. It was just the funniest social media app ever, and I spent so much time on it.
And one of the brilliant things about this app is it like wasn't just for Nintendo fanboys or like gamers. Like I showed this app to like all of my friends and like coworkers at the time, and everyone fucking loved it. Like everyone had a Miitomo, and it was just so much fun. It was so silly, and it was like yeah, just like so quirky. The costumes that they would come out with, and like I remember having like a muscle man, almost like a Chippendales costume, because like I had like it was like no shirt with the muscles and a bow tie and like pants.
Oh, God. Dave, like, you could do, like, photo shoots with your characters, and they had, like, settings and stuff, and I remember Dave really got into, like, wearing fishnets and, like, and, like, no pants, and just, like, having these, like, crazy, like, photo shoots with his character, and it was just, like, it was hysterical, and something that I really liked about it, too, was the whole, like, photo altering thing, or just, like, you could put your Miitomo in photos you took, which was, like, one of my favorite things, because I look at my old personal Instagram, and it's like full of just like, instead of taking a selfie, which who cares about selfie? Like, I'm not about taking selfies. I don't want to look at your selfie. I don't care.
Oh my
God. But if you take a picture of what you're doing and put, if you take a picture of what you're doing and you put like your silly little me character in the background, like doing a silly pose, that just becomes so much more like, better. You can post like what you're doing and it's just like a mountain. Like if I go on a hike, it's like cool. But then, like, oh, did you look? Did you look a little closer? There's a twerking little me character. Yeah. Little Miitomo.
We definitely made a Miitomo post every time we went to Doko and got a cinnamon roll. That was fun.
Every time it was us just, like, laying on it and just, like, on
like, dangling off the coffee cup or...
Yes, like, it made social media more fun and interactive and... Yeah, I loved it, and I just wish they didn't kill it, because I'd still be posting more. Oh, yeah. For sure.
Oh, yeah. Man, you know, I have to confess something. I spent actual money on that app.
Oh! I don't think I've... Wow, yeah, I don't spend money.
So part of the Miitomo thing is that you would get coins for doing things on a daily basis. Kind of like how you get Nook points for doing things in Animal Crossing New Horizons. So you would get coins as a reward for talking to 5 friends daily, or you would get, you know, some coins for changing your outfit or like, you know, switching up your like room. And then you could in turn use those coins to buy outfits or play the games for the special seasonal stuff.
Right. It was kind of gambling. Like, there was a huge gamble
for thing. Sure, because it was like pachinko, where a ball would drop and then, you know, it would go down this pegboard and it would either land on this like exclusive clothing item, or you would get candy. That's what it was. Okay. And you'd use candy to play the games. But
okay, you know what? I didn't do any research before this episode, and you're really bringing back a lot of memories about Miitomo.
You know, look, I didn't really do any research either. This is just, I have a really good memory. And I was obsessed with these, it's kind of like Animal Crossing. I was obsessed with these outfits. I remember during the rainy season one year, they had an outfit set that was like jeans that were wet on the bottom, a shirt that was wet at the top, and then like a newspaper hat because you didn't have an umbrella.
Yes,
and I was like, and I loved that shit. Like, that stuff is so quirky and fun, and like, there's no other social media thing like that. And then just like the daily questions they would ask were like pretty benign, but you could make them pretty silly. And yes. I don't know, it's just like so much fun.
Yeah, like you could find out. You could find out, like, about your friends. Like, there were some personal questions, like, favorites, and, like, what you're doing, what you're up to. So, like, I mean, like, it's kind of sad. And it's kind of sad that instead of having, like, an actual conversation with your friend, you could just play Miitomo and, like, find out what they're up to or, like, get to know them. But there were, like, some people that, like, were more acquaintances that, like, I didn't really hang out with. But then, like, they would be on the app, and I would find out stuff about them and, like, interact in this way. And it was just, like... It was funny. Like, it made catching up with people more fun and silly and just a little bit more lighthearted.
Yeah.
And fun.
Yeah, sometimes it's great. Like, it's easier to catch up with someone when you have kind of like a prompt or like a fun, you know, avenue to do that with, instead of being like, oh, how are you? And they have to go through their head and be like, well, shit, it's been like, you know, it's been 5 months since we talked. A lot has happened, but you can't think of all that, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, it was just... It's a lot of fun.
It was great. Now I kind of wish I like did a little more research about Miitomo so I could talk more about it because I feel like I've forgotten a lot about it.
I mean, I feel like that was mostly it. It was just about customizing your me and your space and then answering these questions. I don't think that there were a whole lot of elements. I so badly just want to pick up my phone and open up Miitomo. And
I think that the biggest thing I miss about it was just the photo editing, like putting your character. Like, it just made sharing things more fun and interesting. Is all. It was great.
Yeah, because there were a ton of poses and faces, like facial expressions that you could do, and you could like drop your friends in there. I have a picture of me and my roommates all sitting on bones. It's pretty cute.
Man, that was such a good app.
You'll have to send me some of your photos for quote posts.
If I can find them. Dave, when I was talking to Dave about it, he was like, I didn't back up my photos, and I only have a few that like I sent, and I wish I still had them. I don't think he has the app, but I don't remember.
What,
I mean, I definitely don't. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter if you have it or not. You can't do anything with it.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'll do some poking around. Hopefully I have some of those. Yeah. Oh man, they were good. They were great.
Good stuff. I think about that app all the time, and like I said, it's still on my phone. I refuse to delete it.
That's so sad.
Like
Speaking of like, are we done with Miitomo?
Yeah, I remembered also something that I need to add to the list, but go ahead.
Oh, well, I was gonna say, speaking of like apps that don't exist anymore and keeping on your phone, do you remember the whole Flappy Bird thing?
I do, but I never had the app myself.
Yeah, that sort of thing I don't get. And, like, it was a very, like, I've never really been that into mobile games. So, like, already I'm just like, okay, whatever. But that was so big and just, like, so weird to watch. Like, people were selling their phone with the app still on it. And it was, like, the dumbest game.
Yeah.
It became such a meme? I don't know. It was just, that was, like, very strange.
Yeah, I never really got the appeal of it. And I remember the poor guy who developed it, like, going through a bit of a crisis over it on Twitter and stuff. And, yeah.
Because I think it got taken down because he used, like, Mario pipes, right? Like, it was, like, a copyright
is that why it got
thing.
taken down?
I think so.
Oh. I thought that he just took it down because he was getting, like, overwhelmed for some reason by the response or something. Because it was a free app, wasn't it? He wasn't, like, making money.
I don't know.
That's some internet history right there.
It became too much. Oh, but you know what spawned from that? I don't know what it was called.
Tippy
It was
hat?
like a flap. Yeah, it was a Flappy Bird parody where it was like tip, tip, tip. Nice
Lady?
meme. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
pretty
nice
good.
meme. Yeah. Tip,
Pretty
tip,
good,
tip,
pretty
tip,
good.
tip, tip. I think it's called Tippy Hat, but I'm not 100% sure. But that's pretty funny. Yeah, that made me laugh out loud. For sure.
So what were we gonna add on to the list? You got something? Something
One
else?
thing I was gonna add on the list, because what reminded me of this is because of the fact that I still have Miitomo on my phone. I still have this website bookmarked on my browser. I refuse to take it off my taskbar, or whatever that's called. But found.com, found with 4 F's, found.com, was a website, a members-only website, and you had to be invited in to post. Anyone could view it, but you had to be invited to post on it. And it was kind of like they would post like art. It was an art and design website where people would post like interesting pieces of art or interesting like designs. And for some reason, it like started in 2007, and in 2017 it got shut down. And I really miss it. I refuse to take that bookmark off my browser. But yeah, it was just a really great space for like really interesting design. And it was just very aesthetic. But yeah, I miss it a lot. It's another website I think about a lot. I think there might be
Oh.
What?
Did you want to mention MySpace?
Not really. I mean, I did mention it, but it was like I've got I mean, there are aspects of MySpace that I do miss.
Like what?
I thought the notes was pretty cool. or not the notes, but the bulletins you could post. So it was like combining social media and a message board, because there was that column on the left-hand side of the website where people could post bulletins, and it was just like, you know, stuff they could post. But then there was also like, you could make notes on your own personal page, and you could put a song on your personal page. And I actually, like, MySpace was such an invaluable tool for me in the band. When we were like booking tours, we would look up bands in other cities that had similar influences to us, and then we'd reach out to them and like book shows, and like we met a lot of people through MySpace. It was a really incredible tool. And I don't think, I mean, I guess Facebook is kind of similar, but yeah, MySpace was a whole nother thing.
Yeah, I don't have much to say about MySpace, honestly. But just imagine, like, ranking your friends in public, putting them on a list.
Yeah, you had your top 8.
That was, like, that was wild.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, and you always had to have, like, you had to have your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your significant other or whatever in your number 1 slot, or else there would be drama.
Like, talk about a recipe for disaster. You don't have me on your top whatever? Oh my god.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I, at one point I changed my top 8 to a top 4, and I ended up making 4 alternate accounts for myself and just having myself as my top 4 with,
yikes.
With different, so like the 4 different pictures of me was like with 4 wildly different haircuts and hair colors, because I changed my hair a lot. So it, like, maybe at first glance it looked like I had 4 different friends, but it was
but really I had 0 friends.
All the top 4s were me. And I think that page still exists. Every now and then I just, like, you know, I'll go down the nostalgia hole and be like, oh, does this website that I use still exist? And I think that my MySpace page is still out there with a few photos, but I don't know if all the alternate accounts made it through the purge.
I delete things. I'm all about that clean slate. Mm-hmm. I don't need no nostalgia.
Well, I, like, deleted all my notes and deleted all my friends except for myself. I just, like, I'm, like, part of me is, like, I want to have that gone, but another part of me is, like, so sentimental, it's, like, I can't let it go. It was, like, I don't want this MySpace, so I'm going to delete all my friends, but I also need to be, I need to keep my screen name. Because I have that screen name and it's mine. Because
MySpace is going to become a thing again?
Yeah. You tried your best, Justin Timberlake, but MySpace ain't coming back, bud. It's gone.
Justin Timberlake?
Did he not buy MySpace?
I
think that he tried to, like, I think he bought MySpace and tried to make it, like, a music thing. I'm going to Google.
I mean, it's definitely more geared towards music now, for sure.
Does anyone use MySpace? Look, I'm asking you out there in the public, if you use MySpace, please reach out to us and tell us how you use it and why you use it.
The creator's name was, like, Tom, right? I hear he's a pretty good guy.
Oh, yeah, Tom, the original guy, yeah, because he was everyone's first friend was Tom.
Mm-hmm. But I hear he's, like, now, he still has, like, a Twitter and stuff, and, like, he's, like, a pretty, like, good guy, all-around good guy.
Yeah, he seemed pretty chill. He just, you know, he's no Zuckerberg.
Well, you know. Well, is that it for our gone but not forgotten?
Well, we'll just make this the lightning round, gone but not forgotten. Are there any cereals that you miss?
Oh, well, you just remind me that I do have one more thing. A cereal that I miss?
Yeah,
I can't even imagine.
Well, there was, like, a cinnamon roll cereal that existed a while ago that I really liked, and it's no longer. Waffle Crisp is not a thing anymore, which I never really liked, but I had a friend who was like, they discontinued Waffle Crisp, and it was
the French toast cereal came back.
I think it's gone again, isn't it?
I remember as a kid, Cookie Crunch was my favorite, and it disappeared for a while, but then it came
Crisp.
Back. Sorry. Oh my god. Well, I don't really like it anymore. I remember, like, when it came back, I was like, oh. Like, yeah. I remember it kind of having, like, a weird taste.
I don't know. Like, it's not just the taste, but a lot of those cereals leave, like, a film on your mouth.
Yeah, like a sugary...
Yeah. Like a chemically sugary film.
Bad. I can't think about the last time I bought cereal that wasn't just, like, plain Cheerios. Mm-hmm. And even then, it's been, like, a couple of years, I feel like, since I last had Cheerios. So
Yeah, I can't tell you the last time I bought cereal.
it's just like cereal's too much.
Also, it's like for me personally, it's like a combination of the two things that make my body feel like garbage. It's like gluten and then dairy, which I know you can get gluten-free cereal and you can do dairy alternative milk. But those kinds of things make me feel like garbage, and most cereal is just like kind of really sweet.
I was about to say, I can't imagine last time I had milk with cereal. I just eat it out of the, I just eat it like a little dry snack. Yeah. Yeah, that's my go-to cereal eating way.
Honey Bunches of Oats. Hell yeah.
Pretty good. I don't know. I'm not really, I've always liked cereal to an extent, but it's never been like my go-to for anything. That's it.
You said you had one more thing to add?
I do. Well, I was just as like a gone but not forgotten sort of thing. I was thinking, like, do you remember before cell phones, when everyone had like a landline, you would have, well, our family, and even Dave sort of had the same thing. It's like a little piece of paper taped up on the inside of one of your cabinets with like people's phone numbers on it. Like, it's just something no one does. But like everyone had a cabinet door you opened. And there was like a piece of paper with people's names and phone numbers on it. It was pretty funny.
Mom work, dad work, and then like our few best friends. Because like if we weren't at home, or like you need to talk to your friends.
Crazy. And some family members, I guess.
Yeah. Remember when you had to memorize phone numbers? I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, I still remember our childhood home phone number.
Oh yeah. Same.
Even though I haven't had to use it in, like, over 12 years.
Oh, God, yeah, it's been a hot minute.
At this point.
Yeah, I think I've memorized, like, I know Dad's cell phone number, our home phone number, Mom's phone number, my phone number, and I don't even think I know... No, I know yours. Well, sorry, I know your old cell phone number. And I think
not
those
my current one.
No, those are, like, the only phone numbers that I've memorized. Like, I don't even know my current boyfriend's cell phone number. You don't need to.
I know my phone number, and I know Dave's phone number just because when I first got here, I didn't have, like, a phone for, like, a year. So if I needed to write something, like, if someone needed a phone number, it would be his. So I had to memorize it because I would be constantly, like, writing it down for things. So I know his phone number and my phone number, and that's it.
That's it. I mean, yeah. Oh.
I'm sure, like, also in that cabinet you had, like, the pizza place phone number.
Oh, you think so? I don't remember.
Why not? If you order pizza, like, every other weekend, you gotta look up in the phone book every time.
Y'all, look, I'm sorry, this is totally off topic, but my favorite bird is outside right now. It's usually a bird that, like, hides in the underbrush, but I guess he's feeling bold. He's just out there.
Wow.
So I gotta get a good peek at it. It's a towhee, by the way. Anyway. Phone numbers, huh?
Do you have another lightning round?
No, I think that's it.
Your lightning round was one?
Oh, the lightning round was like, quick, what's your favorite cereal?
Okay.
Sorry, not favorite, but like, quick, what are some cereals that you miss? No, without getting into vague, like, oh man, remember when you used to just like play outside type of shit? I don't think there's really any other concrete things that I like are no longer with us that I like actively miss, besides like that website in Mitomo. Really.
Are there any like fast food places that have gone out of business? Silence.
No, I don't think so.
I'm sure there is, but maybe not ones that like we cared about.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Oh well, what can you do?
Oh well.
I mean, I miss having a Sanrio shop in the mall.
A Sanrio store? Oh, yeah, that was something.
But I guess you can just
the
get
little
that stuff
point
online.
card. Love it.
Oh yeah.
Very Japanese thing to do.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mhm. Well.
There's one thing I miss. Bones isn't here. I miss him. I keep feeling like he should be here and he's not. Even Even though I spent like 3 months away from him, having him back, and now he's gone again.
Well,
Anyway,
he'll be back. He will be back. He will be back, and we will too.
I mean, we can't stay.
We can't stay. But we'll see you next time.
Next time. I guess that's it. Well, it's a pretty abrupt ending, but yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's fine. We're done. It's over.
It's over. We're done.
I done faded it out.